It is a place of beauty and calm, a small, relatively undiscovered Caribbean island that North Americans visit to get away from it all. But now St. Kitts has a major problem that could change this island forever. Rick Kirkham with our story.
St. Kitts, the smallest island nation in the Western Hemisphere. Part of the Caribbean island chain, this tiny island is only now beginning to see the boom in tourism that its neighboring islands have enjoyed for years. Still mostly undeveloped, St. Kitts is banking on the increase in tourism to lift its mostly third-world lifestyle out of poverty. As is the case with just about every other Caribbean island, St. Kitts here is heavily dependent upon foreign tourism, American tourism to be exact. But upon arriving on this beautiful island, many Americans are surprised to learn there is some serious trouble here in paradise.
I think it's a concern both for the British government and for the American authorities.
The problem stems from drug trafficking, big-time drug trafficking.
We recognize that St. Kitts is being used as a transit point to North America and to Europe.
We are situated between the source of supply and the South America and the source of demand, the United States.
It doesn't take a genius to see that the very geographical location of St. Kitts and the rest of the Caribbean is the perfect transfer point for South American drug traffickers to peddle their wares to North American drug dealers. Tourists here say the signs of cash-laden drug dealers are pretty obvious inside the few casinos where extremely large amounts of U.S. dollars are thrown around like pocket change.
What shocked me was at one of the gaming tables, the craps tables, the amount of money. I took a double take.
The leader of St. Kitts' majority-ruling Labor Party says the drug trafficking problem has been tolerated in the past because of the drug money it dumps into the local economy.
I believe that the government was soft and turned a blind eye in the past.
But recent events appear to have opened both the eyes of the government and the people as well. It began with the mysterious disappearance last October 1st of Vincent Morris, a son of the Deputy Prime Minister, and his female companion, Joan Walsh.
Scotland Yard was requested to assist, and I arrived on the island on the 11th of October.
Detective Superintendent Alec Ross teamed up with St. Kitts detective Jude Matthews, who had already arrested 6 people believed to have been involved in the murder of the missing couple. But the morning after the 2 detectives had joined forces, Matthews was assassinated. Ross was stunned.
It's very difficult not to become emotionally involved when someone you know well and who you're just sitting waiting on is gunned down.
Someone obviously didn't want anyone probing into the disappearance of the missing couple, but Ross was now determined to get to the bottom of the case. A local man was quickly arrested after confessing to the assassination of the detective. But it seemed there was much more to this case, and Ross soon began to piece together the puzzle, beginning with the missing couple.
The whole case would appear to revolve around the discovery of a very large consignment of cocaine on the beach some few days prior to their disappearance.
Ross says several hundred kilos of cocaine were apparently stashed on a local beach when it was discovered by some locals. The missing son of the Deputy Prime Minister had apparently gotten his hands on the newly found cocaine just before he came up missing. The 6 arrested in the missing couple case had apparently kidnapped the victims in an effort to get to the cocaine. The high-ranking policeman was killed to quiet the investigation. Ross says he then learned that 2 other sons of the Deputy Prime Minister may have been involved with their brother, the missing man, to sell the cocaine that had been found. Though arrested, the 2 brothers were quickly released to be used as witnesses against the 6 believed to be behind the couple's murders. 24 hours after the Deputy Prime Minister's 2 sons were released on bail, this tiny island nation's only prison right here erupted in protest. That eventually led to an all-out riot. Inmates burned their cells and 103 of them escaped. Amongst them, the 6 people originally charged with conspiracy to commit murder. With the help of neighboring forces, all but one of the escapees were eventually apprehended. But the Deputy Prime Minister was forced to resign in light of his 3 sons having been reportedly involved in a conspiracy to sell millions of dollars worth of cocaine. At about the same time, the bodies of the missing couple were discovered burned to death in their car. 2 murders, a police assassination, the resignation of the deputy prime minister, and a fiery prison riot, all as a result of a large amount of cocaine that had been stashed on the island by traffickers en route from South to North America.
The recent dramatic events, I think, brought it home very much to people that this was a problem that could affect each and every one of us.
In recent weeks, the American government has sent drug enforcement and State Department officials to look into the growing problems Caribbean islands are suffering as a result of the American demand for cocaine. But here in the islands, all agree trafficking of drugs could devastate the Caribbean. From the standpoint of crime, as St. Kitts has recently seen, to the potential loss of their livelihood in tourism dollars.
These difficult circumstances have really caused us great pain and great grief in this country of ours.
A couple footnotes here. The sons of the former Deputy Prime Minister are free on bail, but the suspects in the 2 murder cases remain in prison. And just ahead